I'm excited to extend to you a most heartfelt welcome to the very first class of Streamer University.
Kai, one of the biggest names in streaming right now, decided to launch something truly ambitious, Streamer University. The idea was simple but powerful. Create a platform where streamers, whether big, small, or somewhere in between, could come together, get exposure, and level up their careers.
I'm going to put out enrolls and applications of people to enroll into the university. No matter if you're big, no matter if you're a small streamer.
Sounds like a dream, right? A chance for creators to get recognized, collaborate, and grow their audiences in a supportive environment. But what should have been a celebration quickly turned into something else entirely, a storm of controversy, confusion, and a lot of upset voices. The moment Kai announced the official list of who made it into Streamer University, both the students and the professors, a wave of backlash hit hard. People were questioning the selections, calling out who got in and who was left out. And among all this, one name kept popping up: Zoe Spencer. Zoe is no stranger to the streaming world. She's known for her bold, fiery personality, her sharp opinions, and the way she doesn't shy away from saying exactly what she thinks. But despite her long-standing presence and connections within the community, she was nowhere to be found on that list. That exclusion sparked confusion, heartbreak, and even tears. Zoe herself broke down live on stream, expressing what many felt, the pain of being left out when it seemed like all her friends were invited. But this isn't just about a list or a missed opportunity. There's a deeper story here.
I feel like one of the friends, like in the friend group, and that one friend didn't get invited to the party. Every friend going to the party, but one of them. I just don't understand. Like, I'm the best person that I try to be good, and I know I troll and I play a lot, but it's just my personality. You know, I'm a real person, and I mean well behind all people.
One involving friendships strained by more than just this event, off-camera moments no one's heard about, and the complicated reality of trying to build something big in an already crowded streaming world. So today, we're going to unpack everything: the hype around Streamer University, the massive number of applicants, the emotional fallout from rejections, the real reasons behind Zoe Spencer's exclusion, and the wider backlash Kai faced from all corners. What started as a platform to uplift streamers turned into a lightning rod for drama, and the full story is a lot more complicated than it seems. But before we get lost in the details, let's rewind to the very beginning and see how Streamer University even came to be, because understanding that is key to seeing why this all blew up the way it did.
Like, I'm never doing this again. I'm never doing this again, cause now I'm mad. Cause like, no matter which direction I go, no matter which way I try to make sure thing is good, I always get the bad end of the stick.
God is so good. I just finished my application for Streamer University. And even if I don't get in, y'all, I'm just so happy. I just have so much joy in my heart because I've been up all day trying to get in and fill out just the application. And I made it in, so I know God's gonna bless this.
Streamer University wasn't just a random idea, it was Kai's bold move to shake up the streaming scene. He created this two-day event designed to spotlight streamers from every level, whether you're just starting out or already pulling in big numbers. The goal? To give these creators a platform to showcase their talents, grow their audiences, and get recognized by a wider community. And the hype was real. When Kai opened applications, the response was overwhelming. So many people tried to sign up that the site literally crashed under the weight of millions of eager streamers rushing to apply. We're talking about roughly 7 million people vying for a spot, an impossible number to manage smoothly.
So you're in. I will be seeing you on campus, okay?
I got you, bro.
Wait, I didn't get it.
Huh?
Wait, I didn't get it.
Lil Tay.
Yo, Kai, you got my application, right? I'm a team selection.
Rakai is up now. Don't even worry about it!
It wasn't just big names throwing their hats in the ring. Tons of small and medium creators jumped at the chance to be part of something this massive. But with only around 150 spots available, it was clear not everyone was going to make the cut. And that's where things got complicated. Expectations were sky high, with some applicants hoping their lives would change overnight, turning them into the next big star just by association. The reality? It was never going to be that simple. And as the acceptance emails started rolling out, disappointment hit hard for many. Some streamers streamers learned they weren't in during a live stream, adding an extra layer of public embarrassment. One name that stood out among those left out was Zoe Spencer. Her reaction wasn't just about missing the opportunity, it was about feeling shut out from a community she'd long been a part of. But the drama didn't stop there. With so many strong personalities involved, emotions were bound to run high, and the fallout was just beginning. Next, we'll look at the emotional roller coaster that unfolded when the acceptance and rejection announcements went public, and why it hit some people much harder than others. When the acceptance and rejection announcements finally went public, the streaming world was buzzing, but not always in a good way. For many, it was a moment of hope and excitement. For others, it quickly turned into a painful reality check. What made things even more intense was how some of the rejections were delivered, not quietly by email, but out in the open, live on stream.
If you are a nigga in the hood and there was no bone in your body to make content until you seen Streaming University, you're not getting in. I'm going to go ahead and keep it 100, gang. You're not about to fulfill a spot who genuinely loves the content.
Imagine applying for something you've dreamed about for months, then hearing from the person behind it in front of thousands of viewers that you didn't make the cut. That's exactly what happened to several streamers during Kai's streams. When he called out names like Tata Smooth and Little Tay and told them they weren't getting in, it created a wave of sympathy and discomfort. Public rejection can be crushing on a personal level, but when it's broadcast to an audience, the sting feels magnified tenfold. One of the most talked about moments in all of this was the reaction of Zoe Spencer. Zoe had been part of Kai's streaming circle for some time, often showing up on streams, collaborating with other creators, and generally being involved with the group. So when her name was missing from the official Streamer University list, it was more than just a professional disappointment, it felt like a personal exclusion. On stream, Zoe's reaction was raw and unfiltered. She broke down in tears, openly sharing the mix of confusion, hurt, and isolation she was feeling. To many viewers, it was a heartbreaking moment, a reminder that behind the drama and online persona, these creators are real people with real feelings. Zoe compared it to being the friend who isn't invited to the party while all her closest pals are celebrating without her. It's a feeling almost everyone can relate to, the sting of being left out, especially when it feels undeserved, and that emotional vulnerability resonated with fans and fellow streamers alike. But this wasn't just about missing a spot in an event, it was about the larger message it sent. To Zoe, and to many watching, it felt like a clear signal that her place within the community was being questioned or even rejected. That kind of exclusion cuts deeper than any professional setback. It's about belonging, friendship, and trust. So the big question on everyone's mind became, why? Why was Zoe left out when so many others close to Kai were included? What happened behind closed doors that led to this kind of fallout? To answer that, we need to take a closer look at Zoe Spencer's personality and history within this community, the qualities that have made her both a beloved and sometimes divisive figure. Understanding that is key to making sense of the exclusion and the drama that followed. Zoe Spencer isn't your typical streamer. She's known for being bold, outspoken, and unfiltered, someone who speaks her mind no matter the setting. That fiery personality has earned her a loyal fan base who appreciate her honesty and energy, but it's also landed her in hot water more than once. She streams across multiple platforms, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and her content is as diverse as it is loud. Zoe doesn't shy away from controversy. In fact, she often leans into it, which can be refreshing to some and overwhelming to others. Her straightforward attitude sometimes rubs people the wrong way, especially those who prefer a more polished or diplomatic approach. Within Kai's circle and the broader AMP community, Zoe has been a known figure for a while. She collaborated with many of Kai's friends during streams and events, becoming part of that extended streaming family. But despite that visibility, she's always been the one who stands out, not just because of her talent, but because of her sometimes unpredictable behavior. Her reputation as fiery is well earned. She's passionate and unapologetic, never afraid to call things out or challenge others. But that intensity can sometimes cross into being confrontational or difficult to manage, especially in group settings. Friends and collaborators have mentioned moments when Zoe's behavior made others uncomfortable, though much of that stayed behind the scenes. And that brings us to the root of the exclusion from Streamer University. It wasn't simply a matter of talent or popularity, it was about how Zoe's personality clashed with the event's environment and the group dynamics behind the scenes. When you're building something like Streamer University, a carefully curated space meant to showcase creators in their best light, managing personalities becomes just as important as managing talent. Zoe's outspoken nature, while admirable in many ways, reportedly led to a series of off-camera incidents that made key players uneasy. Moments when her energy spilled over into behavior others found disruptive or awkward. One particular event, captured on video and widely shared, showed Zoe acting belligerently, yelling and pushing, despite attempts by Kai and others to calm her down.
He's building on me, you're not doing nothing.
I just came.
Yo, that's real bro. You didn't even pull up with nothing. You a bum.
Hey, don't talk to my dog.
You
He just got here. Whoa.
Who you? Nigga.
Bro, he's crazy, bro.
Did you call me?
I apologize. Stop.
It was a prank. I was on Twitter.
Bro, cause you be wilding on me,
You
bro.
call me a
I dead for the first time, and my bad I didn't get to like talk about it with you, but like felt secondhand embarrassed, like felt embarrassed. If y'all see that clip, like at one point I told her to chill, cause like bro, there was like a lot of going on. But you know, Zoe is like very, you know, she's very outgoing, she's very positive. That's her. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna put that past her. But right there, something felt off. But like, I didn't put that past her. I'm like, okay.
That incident wasn't just uncomfortable, it was a turning point. It highlighted a deeper problem. Zoe's presence was creating tension, making the atmosphere uneasy for others. And when an event depends on a cohesive, supportive vibe, that kind of friction can't be ignored. So while it may seem harsh to outsiders, Zoe's exclusion makes sense when you look beyond the surface. It wasn't a personal vendetta, it was about protecting the experience for the majority and maintaining the event's overall tone.
Then it's none of my business. Something happened with Zoe and the bros that behind the scenes that was some type of weird going on that's never been on the internet, none of that, and there's no reason for me to talk because you feel what I'm saying? That's their business, and I'm not gonna speak on that. A few months ago.
Next, we'll dive into the details of those behind-the-scenes incidents and how they shaped the fallout, because understanding the context is key to seeing why this drama unfolded the way it did. Behind the scenes, things weren't as simple as they seemed on camera. While Zoe's fiery personality brought energy and entertainment, it also led to moments that made others in the group uncomfortable, and those moments started piling up. One key incident took place during a group event that was actually recorded and later shared widely online. In this clip, Zoe can be seen getting visibly agitated, yelling at Kai and even physically pushing him despite attempts by others to calm the situation. Kai himself tried to get her to chill multiple times, but she kept escalating the energy instead of dialing it down. The vibe in the room shifted instantly. People who weren't used to public confrontations felt awkward and unsure how to handle it. Even Kai's closest friends exchanged uneasy glances, recognizing the tension but hesitant to step in too forcefully. The awkward silence that followed spoke volumes. It was clear this wasn't normal behavior for the group dynamic. But this wasn't an isolated moment. According to insiders, Zoe's attitude and behavior had been a source of friction in the AMP community for a while. Other members shared stories of awkward or uncomfortable encounters where Zoe's outspokenness crossed boundaries or created conflict.
Dre, I got y'all dude. Y'all can start sucking dick now.
I bit him. Why you didn't forget?
Say hi. I didn't even get to do what I wanted to do, man.
No. Did she get you? She's crazy. She's crazy, bro. Get the show her, man.
Where you going? I didn't even really do what I even wanted to do.
While none of these incidents made it to the public eye, they contributed heavily to the decision-making behind the scenes. Kai and the AMP leadership faced a tough choice: how to keep the event's atmosphere positive and welcoming without alienating a longtime member of their circle. Streamer University was supposed to be a fresh start, a platform that could unite creators, not divide them. And unfortunately, Zoe's history of disruptive moments made it clear she wasn't a fit for this particular vision. It's important to note that none of this was publicly confirmed in detail, mostly out of respect for everyone involved. But Kai himself alluded to off-stream things that contributed to the decision, emphasizing that some issues were private and not meant for public discussion. For Zoe, this meant being blackballed from events and collaborations tied to Kai and his closest friends. It's a tough position for any creator to be in, especially when you've invested so much time and energy into a community. And for fans watching from the outside, it created a narrative clash. On one hand, Zoe's passionate and outspoken nature made her relatable and entertaining. But on the other, the behind-the-scenes reality showed why her presence was becoming increasingly untenable. Up next, we'll explore the wider fallout, the broader backlash against Kai and Streamer University, and how misinformation and drama spread like wildfire across social media. While the Zoe Spencer situation was the most personal and emotional drama to unfold, it wasn't the only controversy casting a shadow over Streamer University. As soon as the official list of accepted streamers and professors was released, social media exploded with criticism, rumors, and outright misinformation. Some critics accused Kai of favoritism, saying the event was just a way to promote his close friends while ignoring other deserving creators. Others claimed the selection lacked diversity, sparking false rumors that there were 0 white creators accepted, a claim that was quickly disproven by the presence of several well-known white and Asian streamers on the roster. These misleading accusations weren't just harmless complaints, they seemed designed to stir the pot, gaining traction on Twitter and other platforms mainly through drama-hungry pages dedicated to bashing popular streamers. The misinformation spread like wildfire, feeding into a larger narrative that Streamer University was a failure or a sham. Kai, who had poured a lot of effort and passion into creating the event, found himself on the receiving end of relentless backlash. The constant criticism started to wear on him. At one point, he hinted that this might be the last Streamer University, frustrated by the negativity despite his genuine intentions to uplift others. It's easy to forget that when someone as big as Kai launches a project, it's impossible to please everyone. No matter how well-meaning or carefully planned, public projects attract their share of haters, trolls, and critics looking for any excuse to tear things down.
The trolling, the slick, I've dealt with that with so many people within this. Y'all see, everybody that really watch me, people will say something and be like, I'm trolling. I be minding my business and I literally be getting shot, stoned. It's like.
But amid the noise, there were also voices urging for a more constructive approach, encouraging fans and creators alike to offer helpful feedback rather than baseless hate. The idea behind Streamer University, after all, was to build something that could grow and improve over time, helping more creators in the long run. So, the question remains, can Streamer University rise above this drama and continue to be a positive force in the streaming community? Or will the backlash and controversies signal the end of Kai's ambitious experiment? Next, we'll wrap up by reflecting on the passion behind Streamer University and what the future might hold, not just for Kai and Zoe, but for the whole streaming world. Despite all the drama, criticism, and emotional fallout, one thing is clear. Kai's passion for streaming and supporting other creators runs deep. Streamer University wasn't just another event, it was a genuine effort to lift up voices across the streaming world, offering opportunities to those who might not otherwise get noticed. Sure, the rollout had its flaws, not everyone was happy with the selections, and some of the decisions sparked hurt feelings and controversy. But that's the reality of any large project involving real people and complex relationships. You can't make everyone happy, and sometimes tough calls have to be made to protect the vision and the community. For Zoe Spencer, the exclusion was painful and public, but it's part of a larger story about boundaries, personalities, and the challenges of balancing individual expression with group dynamics. While she may be sidelined for now, creators like her have a way of bouncing back, finding new paths and new audiences. And for Kai, the backlash might sting, but it doesn't erase the good he set out to do.
Everybody, if you are on campus, bro, I had a spark live on my phone. Relax, everybody, clean. Everybody, because somebody got hurt. So now I'm on my way to the hospital, and all I'm asking for y'all is to clean. Because y'all not being considerate.
Streamer University could be just the beginning of something bigger if it's allowed to grow beyond this initial controversy. At the end of the day, whether you love or hate Streamer University, one thing is certain: streaming is more than just a hobby or a job. It's a community, a culture, and for many, a family. And families aren't always perfect. They argue, they grow, and sometimes they break, but the bonds they share keep pushing them forward. So, what's next for Kai, Zoe, and the rest of the streaming community? Only time will tell. But if this drama has taught us anything, it's that authenticity, passion, and resilience will always be at the heart of the streaming world. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown insightful, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the latest streaming news and drama. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Streamer University will bounce back, or is this the end of the line? Let's talk.